What's up, guys? Gilroy here, bringing you my guide to how to get a Juggernaut. Now this will be for the Assault Juggernaut, not the Support Juggernaut, so that will require you to get a 15 kill streak, or 14 if you're using Hardline, but one thing I'm going to recommend is to use Assassin when going for large kill streaks, so that people don't come up behind you on the UAV. The number one thing that you're going to want to do when getting your kill streaks is know your guns and know your maps. So right here I'm using an AK-47. Which is great at medium to long range sightlines, like this right here. It's perfect. But at close range, it's very ineffective. You know, if somebody comes up on me with a submachine gun or even a better, most other assault rifles, I don't have a very good chance. But, you know, from that range, it's pretty much unbeatable. So, you know, what you want to do is get yourself into the situations where your gun is the most prominent. Right here, I'm standing up on top of this little balcony because there's a lot of sightlines where my AK-47 would be at the perfect range for it to be extremely effective. Now, I don't right away get my Juggernaut. I do kind of choke it first and get a death or two. But I will end up getting it, but I'm still going to be talking throughout it. So you can see here, I'm getting myself in these positions, and then what you want to do is not stay in the same place for too long. I was up there for a while. There wasn't that much action, but I had killed a few people. And so I wanted to move, because, you know, if you have 5 people coming after you, your chances of staying alive for that kill streak are much smaller. You don't want to move too much because it risks, you know, people coming up behind you and stuff. But you want to kind of be immobily mobile, if that makes any sense whatsoever. You want to always be checking your corners whenever you go. Now, you can see I'm going into a building that has a lot of tight spaces, and I still have my AK out. That's not a very smart move. Now, I was trying to get to this sight line here, but it still doesn't matter. So you'll see what's going to come up here is I'm going to be in a short corner, and a guy's going to come up on me with a submachine gun, and I can't do anything about it. There's really nothing that I could have done there. Maybe hit my shots first, but he had the better gun for the situation. And that's where your secondary weapons come in handy. So, for example, I have an AK-47 as my primary, yet this map still does have some tight quarters. So I picked secondaries that I could use well in tight quarters. I picked the 44 Magnum Akimbo because you can swap to them very quickly, as well as they're very effective at close range. That's going to be my last death, and here's where I'm going to start my Juggernaut kill streak. I can't believe I got lucky enough to kill that guy and him not see me. I was being blind. So you can see I'm going to get myself up to some higher ground so I can have some nice overwatch, and it's at great range for the AK-47 to be quite effective. You can see here I fail. I don't honestly see this guy for a while until I see the muzzle flash from him. But I'm at a range where my AK can be effective. I've killed a couple guys, and that spot's pretty open, so I wanted to get to a new area. I'm going to try to make my way over, very cautiously, checking all corners I can. Always be looking out for people. I heard that guy reloading, I believe it was, and I knew he was around that corner. So I'm definitely checking my 6, everything I can. So now, this time, I'm coming into this building and popping up my 44 Magnums because they're more effective at close range. And I learned my lesson last time. So you can see here, this guy, I'm able to pop him. It wouldn't have really mattered because it was from behind, but I was at least prepared. Coming up here to a sight line where I do have the longer range for my AK-47. Now, I want you to set up kill streaks at attack helicopter first. It takes a while to get to it, and it's kind of tricky, but once you get there, you're pretty easy to get all the way. I got lucky with that knife there. I will admit it was a panic knife. But what happens with your attack helicopter is that'll pretty much get you 2 kills for the most part to your Reaper kill streak. And this is a fantastic kill streak. It's very underrated. You can actually control it, so if people are like around corners and stuff, you can actually control it. Like, I mean, if you were good, you could have gotten that guy inside of that house there. I don't actually do very well with this Reaper, but it does the job for what I need it to do. It's a very, very effective kill streak, and you want to be sure to call it in a space where you're not going to be found. And that's another reason that Assassin comes in handy, is if somebody has a UAV up and you're not moving because you're in your Reaper, you're pretty easy to spot. But the Reaper is a great kill streak. It's tough to take down. Not a lot of people even try to take it down, to be honest. Mine does get taken down in this, but I get enough of the kills. I'm 2 kills away from my Juggernaut now through that Reaper. Oftentimes, your Reaper will take you straight to a Juggernaut if you want, or even an Osprey gun if you want to go for it. But and then one thing I will say is to keep cool during your last couple kills. It's really tough to do, but still make smart decisions. I got myself into that line of sight that the AK was prominent in, and I got it. I made it to my Juggernaut. Now, here's probably the most important part. Once you actually get your Juggernaut, be sure that you call it in an area where you will be able to get to it. So what I did is I put it in an open area where there's nothing, it wasn't going to fall on like a roof or anything, but where it wasn't out in the middle of the map so that I'd die immediately trying to go for it. I didn't try to shoot that guy because getting the Juggernaut was more important. And once you have your Juggernaut, you're pretty set. There's not a lot of things that will kill a Juggernaut, especially if you get on a 1v1, you're pretty much always going to win a 1v1 or even a 2v1. The only time I ever died as a Juggernaut was 4v1 and I got hit by a grenade. So what you're really going to want to do is just kind of go for it. Anywhere that you're getting shot from, just shoot them back. Shoot them back and shoot them first once you do actually earn your Juggernaut. It's a lot of fun. You will always have the M60 with a frag grenade and a smoke grenade. And the M60 is really useful. And you can kind of spray a bit. You won't even die while you're reloading with this gun. What's really fun is there, you can see I shot that car. Wait just 1 second and that'll actually end up in a sec being my final kill. I'll run around and some guy's trying to come up behind me to get me because I'm the Juggernaut, and boom, he goes down. So guys, that is my guide to a Juggernaut. That's the way that I have found most effective. Maybe it won't work for you, but just use guns that are good for the map itself. Use your secondaries when necessary, and put yourself in the best positions you possibly can, as well as the attack helicopter, Reaper, Juggernaut setup. You can see I went 30 and 2, got the Juggernaut a little bit late, but it's perfect for this guide. Have a good one, guys.